Hello viewers, today's lecture will be on Hari-Hara in ancient Indian texts. The main objective of this lecture is to make the students aware regarding the syncretistic forms of Shiva and Vishnu mentioned in the various ancient Indian texts. It is interesting to note how these images help the generations to understand the cultural history of the past. Hari-Hara represents the syncretistic forms of Shiva and Vishnu. In ancient Indian texts have abundant material on this aspect of Shiva and Vishnu. According to the Vishnu Dharmottara, the right half of the Hari-Hara image should be Shiva and the left Vishnu. He should carry a trident in one right hand and the other held in the Varada Mudra, while a lotus and a discus should be shown in the left hands. On his right should be a bull and on the left Garuda. Another text, Rupamandana, provides similar description to that of the Vishnu Dharmottara. The Matsya Purana mentions that Shiva Narayana should wear their ornaments and carry a conch in one of the left hands, the other holding a mace and a trident in one right hand, while the other is held in Varda Mudra. According to the Shilparatna, Suprabheda Agama and Uttara Kamika Agama, the left half should be Vishnu and right half Shiva. The deity should be standing in the Samabhanga pose and his left portion should be shown with a Kirata Mukta, Nakra Kundla, Vana Mala, while a conch and a discus should be placed in the left hands. The right half should have a Jatamukta, a rosary in the ear and a garland, while the hands on the right should carry a trident and a rosary. Nandi should also be shown. The Shilparatna places a betel axe and conch shell in the right and the left hands of Hari-Hara. Abhilasha Tartha Chintamani lays down that the right half should be shown exhibiting Varda Mudra and carrying a trident in the hands, whereas the left half should be holding conch shell, discus or mace. The Shiva half should be of white complexion, decked with a Jatamukta and a crescent, wearing an elephant skin and having a snake entwined around the leg, whereas the Vishnu half should be of darkish color, putting on a Ratna Kirata, Makra Kundla and yellow garments. A similar composite form of Krishna and Shankara is mentioned in the Rup Avatara by Sutradhara Vandana. Accepting the mention of the different vehicles for the two gods, Nandan and Garuda, Harivamsa mentions a hymen addressed to the god. According to Kar Markar, for the first time. He is not mentioned in the Brihat Samhita. Himadri's Chaturvarga Chintamani, the two vehicles have been mentioned to be depicted on the appropriate sites. According to the Amusha Bhedagama, Hari-Hara should exhibit Varada Mudra and carry a battle axe by his right hands and hold conch shell and display Kattaka pose by the left hands. In the Vamana Purana, Vishnu is reported to have said to a rishi that he and Shiva were one, and that in him resides Shiva also, and manifested himself to the rishi in this dual aspect of his. It is stated in the Brihan Nadarya Purana, the rishi Jamni recited the Veda Pada Stotra before the image of Hari-Hara in Pundrikapura, and Shiva in his divine ecstasy performed in Thandava dance on that occasion. In the Rig Veda, Indra is invoked as Nritu, the great answer, an epithet which was applicable to Shiva Nataraja, and the same mantra in its second part is woven by Jaimini in his Stotra. Shiva, by his Tandava dance, filled the whole space with an ocean of bliss, seeing which Jaimini burst into one of the most exalted invocations, weaving together the Vedic speech and the classical Sanskrit of the Puranic times. It is a Nama Stotra of the most exquisite style and unique imagery found anywhere among the numerous Shiva Stotras. In the Harivamasa Purana, Hari-Hara is narrated, O Brahma obtained a vision of the joint form of Shiva and Vishnu, and what is more, he saw Shiva in the form of Vishnu and Vishnu in the form of Shiva. It was a miracle that Shiva bore the Pitambara and held in his hands conch, wheel and mace, and Vishnu took the robe of a tiger skin and the attributes of a trident and spear. Shiva accepted Garuda as his vehicle, and Vishnu took the banners of a bull. Hari-Hara Mahakavya Akatashara says, as water mingles with water, so Vishnu in his composite form becomes of the same aspect as Rudra. As fire mingles with fire and assumes the form of a single flame, so Rudra mingles with Vishnu and becomes Vishnu Maya. Rudra as of fiery aspect and realize Vishnu as Soma, and thus the whole world is the composite form of Agni and Soma. They both destroy and create the universe. Rudra holds Vishnu as the supreme deity, and Vishnu regards Shiva to be the same. There is no Shiva without Vishnu and no Vishnu without Shankara, and therefore Rudra and Vishnu assume a composite form as Hari-Hara. Hari-Hara, as the name represents, a fusion of two great gods, Vishnu and Shiva. There are evidences, literary as well as historical, which are quite explicit on the view that rivalry and animosity did appear between the followers of the two different sects. The unmitigated sectarian rivalry and bitterness is clearly reflected in the representations of Shiva in the form of Sarabesha, punishing Narsimha, and in the Ikkapada Murti of Shiva or its Vaishnava counterpart. Shiva or Vishnu occupying the central position, Brahma being invariably shown as a literal accretion in the attitude of bowing to the central deity. Banerjee says, among the various other reasons that promoted liberal religious outlook and cult syncretism may be reckoned the spread of the Vedantic teachings, the writings of the Smritis, which did not advocate the cause of any cult in particular, rather helped in the evolution of a kind of worship, what is described as the Panchana Puja. Bhartri, himself a Shaivite, has exclaimed in favor of one god, Shiva or Vishnu. Abhinav Gupta, also a Shaivite, has commented upon the Bhagavad Gita, the Gospel of Lord Krishna. There are various other philosophers and aestheticians who formulated their views in the context of religions of that time. Shankara, who appears to have inclined rather to Vishnuism, is claimed alike by the Shaivite and the Vaishnavite. Images of Hari-Hara clearly represent the efforts that were being made for bringing about reconciliation between the followers of the different cults and depicts a combination of the two great divinities, Vishnu and Shiva. The former always occupying the left half and the latter the right half. J. N. Banerjee analyzes the Puranic story of Vishnu's assumption of the female form of Mohini in distributing the nectar churned from the ocean between the gods and the demons, and Shiva's love for Vishnu in that beautiful form. The gods Narayana and Maheshwara became the past, present, and future. Rudra holds Vishnu as the supreme deity, and Vishnu regards Shiva to be the same. Hari-Hara Makastotra was recited by such sages as Vyas, Narada, Bharadvaja, Garga, Vishwamitra, Agastya, Pulastya, and the high-souled Dhaumya. I therefore bow to Rudra and to Vishnu, moving together. On one side, I bow to the three eyes and to the two eyes on the other. On the one, the red eye and the lotus eye on the other. On the one, father of Kumara and on the other of Pradumna. On the one holding the Ganga and on the other the mountain. On the one wearing the garland of skulls and on the other Vanamala. On the one holding the trident and on the other a discus. On the one holding the Brahmadanda and the other a golden club. On the one wearing the skin and on the other the yellow robe. I bow to the Lord of Parvati and also to the Lord of Lakshmi. I bow to him who holds the Khatvanga and the club in his composite aspects, who smears the ashes and the black agadu, who lives in the cemetery and who sleeps in the ocean, who rides on a bull and who rides on the Garuda. The famous couplet of the Dirghatmas Hyman in the Rig Veda, towards which Banerjee has drawn attention, beautifully expresses the sentiment that the one eternally existing principle could be called in various ways, though the names denoting the principle could be different. So such images mentioned in the ancient Indian texts help to sketch out the cultural, the social, the economic and the geographical history of the past or of that time. Such images, which are mentioned in detail in Indian mythology, represent or giving evidences that there is a thought, there is a thinking, there is a principles of rivalry and love and affection between the small and the big religious sects. And when these religions they combine together, then that the cultural history has a different way to say something new. So the combination or the composite images of Shiva and Vishnu are the images, are the examples which represent the deep relationship or the cultural change between the two great religions of India, that is known as Shaivism and Vishnuism. Shaivism, which is heading by Lord Shiva, who destroys this world and creates this world, no doubt also, and Vishnu, who preserves. Both these gods, they are the one which help the universe to create a new Brahman.